There we go, very nice. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. In the last episode we had gone about carrying on with Ace Attorney Spirited Justice, and we had continued on with episode 3, the right of turnabout. We finished the investigation and we had just started the trial. So, let's jump straight into it. And let's start with the trial of this episode. May 11th, 9:40 AM. High Court of Crane. Accused lobby. I was unable to find any conclusive evidence yesterday, but if we can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe. Nick, today, well, look, sit down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. I'm assuming that'll be, you would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Oh! As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my clients in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you, too, will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. It shall be your very last trial. Nick, I'm going to prove you innocent, Ma. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the plumed Punisher warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm to the folks back at home, right? Right! I may be a defender this time. But I'll be your ace, like always, Nick. Thanks, Ma. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time to go. Let's go. May 11th. High Court of Crane. Ooh. Let the trial of my fay begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Hello, Nayuta. How you doing? Huh? Quiet! Can't you see Prosecutor Salmati is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. The trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's a very devout... He's very devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty, in addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is our assistant, you say? Very well then. The criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. And that wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Crane, so get used to it. I must say, I am surprised to see you still here in Crane, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I'm a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. But it's kind of like just whatever at this point. No one really cares about me, so... Such foolishness. You foolishly foolish fools will know no bounds, and I shall whip you. Oh, sorry, that's the shtick of another prosecutor. I do know her very well, though. Oh, yeah, and I love my foolishly foolish whip. Ah, Prosecutor Almighty, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Ha 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 ha! Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sarmadi. Please say the victim's soul, Prosecutor Sarmadi. Punish the wicked lawyer who dares to stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on the whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So it was you who instilled that putrid loyalty guile within him. Putrid what? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. Sorry? Did he? Or did he not prove that Mr. Rettins was mysterious and that he was the real killer? Did he not? Shut up. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say you never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry, though. We haven't lost the case together yet. You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Now then, Prosecutor Salmadi, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Tarostin Me. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the war-barred dagger which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder? The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's for sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Kurainism. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have saved the victim is Maya Fey. I must say that this casts a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. In Kurainism, saying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul should be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling. There she should be tickled without end for 500 million years. That is a terrible fate indeed. Would the defense care to respond? I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone. I don't have that dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the events as described by the prosecution. Most importantly, she had no motive to kill the high priest in the first place. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless. The meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence ray for Padma Kurain's insights. So it is, as it shall be. The divination science reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Weird. They surely never all priestess. It's Princess Rafa. Oh, how beautiful her benevolence looks again today. Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Kurain, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their Freedom Express today. What a joy it is to have the Royal Priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Odihara Kurain. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what the Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, Your Benevolence. Now then, Your Benevolence. The divination seance, if you please. Very well. Lena, my robe.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Are we gonna... Oh, do we have to... I'm not gonna sit through this again. Let's just skip. There's no point watching the dance. There's Maya. Lantern. Lantern. Reading scripture. Shake. Wind. There's Lady Kira. Incense, footsteps. Pain. Okay. Victims Matama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great. Another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The bier of Lady Kira lit against a dim lantern light, a scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror abbot in me must have felt. The facts are, as presented by her benevolence, are indisputable. Oh, that wasn't me! Do something, Nick! I'm working on it. I couldn't have been any clearer. Oh, looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the rites guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. The transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture while the priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. And the rite of fire. The priestess circles around the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would It would seem the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with our benevolence's insight yet again? Would seem lawyers are Paul Culkin creatures indeed. Well, not Paul Culkin. Paul Culkin. Paul Culkin. No, Paul Cunnan. Paul Cunnan. Paul Cunnan, not Paul Cuncan. Paul Cunnan. Paul, yeah. What exactly is a Paul Cunnan? Sometimes a real piece of work, so to speak. They can tell me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. Well, you know I'm going to do it again. Now it's time for the insight. The victim commenced the purification rite, bowing to the lanterns and reading the sutra. As the first part of the transformation rite ended. Oh, no, yeah, no, okay. No, ignore me. I was going to say, he would have been looking at the two upper lanterns, the ones that are right next to the spring, but I suppose not, really. As the first part, the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused's approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not be any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You can explain away the truths revealed by the Royal Priestess's divine insight. No. How did you end up finding into contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appear in the poor souls? It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it's looked to me too. Huh. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out her mistakes in Rafa's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what happened and me felt and her insights, huh? You got it. I'm gonna find them this time too. Should I check how to point out contradictions in Rafa insights? I'm okay. Nah, I remember how it works. Still, the sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albie's trial, in which case I better keep an eye on the changes in their intensity too. Okay, time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights. Solely because I might have this wrong with the statement but the sound of the footsteps never grows.
Objection!
So the footsteps never get closer. What we're trying to say there. The victim supposedly heard the accused's approaching footsteps. But did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not. Because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smells. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Gah! Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? Well, there must be a reason.
Objection!
It is as they say, even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? Like, seriously? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with Matama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have you never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed Matama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Bells. Footsteps change into bells? What does this mean? That's why they don't grow, because the bells that he's hearing are the ones on his ankles. Bells? But the bells at the scene of the crime were... that jingling must have come from Abbot Imni's bells. You know those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... if the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means that it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was not the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from our benevolence's insight would have us believe. Why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Still your voices is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation. While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sabmadi? Even if it was Abatini who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach. Ah. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. Yeah, it really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right. And that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer, that contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. See, the fact that it was Abbott and me who moved changes nothing. Ah, come on, Phoenix, you've got to keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. One sensation changed after Princess Rafer refined her vision. That's the reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I guess we should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Let's have a look then. How has anything massively changed? See, something's happening there because he's like rumbling, shaking. Hang on, I'm just gonna pause a sec. I'm just gonna grab a tissue. There we go. Right, victim commences purification by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. The first part, transformation right, ended. He lowered the sutra and suddenly he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. Was then the victim. How did I not see that the first time? How did I not see that? Hold it! How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear. Abbott and me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Miss Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at some point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh? Yes, and the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies a contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring, and the accused stood right in front of him. But now we know that the victim has moved. But now we know that the victim then moved into the spring. Balgunka, that's absurd. This means the accused's location differs from what Benevolence's insight indicates. Ah! Then where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Q's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya is standing here.
Take that!
Do we really accuse was standing there? Not when you say it like that, Your Majesty. Oh, what? Okay then. in the spring then, I suppose. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abertimmy and Miss Fay were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rights guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that's how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped in the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean Miss Fay had actually been standing in the water. Well, if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Fay? You really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite. The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth? Is that even possible? Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what was completely reverses their positions is what? And their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a... Yeah, realistically, that'd be the best idea. That's all you can say. You lawyers are an absurd breed. In everything in your head, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Rafer has a pretty good grasp on what lies are all about. Oh, Maya, where would I be with your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. There we go. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Now the contradiction is no more, but the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you do deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick, also I just want to point out that that's not possible because the flame does flicker within the wind. That wouldn't happen with any of the lanterns near the pool. The only lantern that would happen with is the broken lantern that is the opposite side of the pool. So, take your pick. Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you wreck that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it.
It's the first day or second.
This is the first day. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. But now the place I was standing in has changed. Who knows? That might be causing a discrepancy with Princess Rafer's insights. That's right, we know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I was taking a look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record and confirmed whether Maya and Abertimmy were standing, and then focus on any discrepancies between their positions and the insights.
No cracking bone in first day.
No, no cracking bone. Do I go sight or do I go wind? Oh. Let's try sight. Yeah. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There's nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, and what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flames should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Oh, blessed Matama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. Huh? This lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Say what? When we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, defense. We could not risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. I would never fly back home. Well, Bobcat, you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Matama. Nick! Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The high priest is thought to have been moving toward her, so I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. Can I find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya? It's at this point that I actually don't know. No, that's definitely broken.
Objection!
That's definitely broken. What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight. But it's contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Or want me to shout out to the next you fall silent? Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sarpati? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm full of control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns at the entrance of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbott and we saw in his final moments, You'll notice the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Fey is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact.
Rain, it's raining so hard.
Ooh. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in the seance vision. How could this be? And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying that the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Or events, please explain himself.
In front of my house is flooding.
Ooh, that's not so good. Based on the broken lantern, we can tell where the accused and the victim was standing. But did you not finish asserting the victim was standing somewhere else? Yeah, I did, about my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here. To the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. Oh no. I must say, if the events keeps changing its assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. I want to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Shows where you now believe the accused was actually standing. Just kind of that general area. I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. You know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had actually been standing in the water as he approached. However, this memory, which has now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned toward the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. Actually, it does appear. It's just no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How would no one have noticed something so big? There was a moment when the scripture in the victim's holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was in fact turning around in that moment.
Objection!
As if it is as the defense asserts, then the benevolence's insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain that? I don't need to explain anything. This is just as you said, Prosecutor Sabmadi. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence. A huge error, you say? Do explain. The huge error is... I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. But the victim was reading a sutra when he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be. Oh, but it can. And it is. The inside stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Polkunka! Are you suggesting there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Have I misunderstood the voice of the Matama? Yet again? This cannot be... She's fainted. Oh well. Phew. That was a close one. I managed to find the true meaning behind the sense vision somehow. I should add these new files to the court record. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you.
Well, I remember the very end. That not true, but that what you should be finding.
Fair. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Marty? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time I have learned to perform last rites for souls and trials lacking a seance. Yes, of course. Forgive my inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. I guess he really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed he's come to understand their value. Then again, he is an international prosecutor who's solved tough cases around the world, so... Time to hunker down, huh? Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? One who claims negated the insights of the royal priestess. So I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. Do we? His third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. I might be able to identify who it was. They had evidence of their murderous intent. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence can reveal the identity of the third party is this. I'm going to say it's this.
Take that!
3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. He did? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe this is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? The person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. Peace. I don't understand. I had heard Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? And this is where we get the intense music. High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel. The High Priest, a devout follower of Croatism? A rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I, too, found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible. The third party was a rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the High Priest was a rebel. Your mockery of Khurainism, no, of the kingdom of Khurain itself knows no bounds. Yeah. There's always a way to bluff. That shameless Paul Cunning's lawyer, he's making a mockery of our religion. As a faithful Khurainist, I take issue with these claims, and I am loath to admit them today in today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. Offence's claims are but vile blasphemy, tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? But Timmy was a distinguished monk, and very well respected too, so, yeah.
No, he just protecting the rebel.
I was going to say, that's a rebel. Please don't let this turn into an international incident. But fear not, good people of crime. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertion the accused killed the victim remains unchained. Changed? But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen! How is that possible when he had his back toward Miss Fay? Someone else must have killed him. Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trail is, as yet, still in my hands. How can he be so confident? Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And as you proved that by calling a new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. How can there be an eyewitness when there's only 2 people at the scene of the crime? Make that one make sense, Nayuta. An eyewitness? Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand. How does that make any sense? If there's 2 people at the crime, there can only be 2 people. Ah, it's you. It's him again. Well now, he has to be the shaggiest witness I've ever laid eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, you know, that's so-and-so whatchamacallit. Anonymous TBD. Anonymous. Anonymous TBD. At least that's what they've been calling me. TBD, as in to be determined. I just tell us your name. Witness has suffered a blow to the head, render him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anonymous TBD in my report. But he thinks TBD is part of his name.
Objection!
You let an amnesiac testify? Oh, no fear. I already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact.
You have Phoenix S2 Case 1.
What? Oh, okay. Considering the dearth of information, any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Emus, please tell us what you saw. Oh, I've missed that version of witness testimony thing. The night of the murder. That night I was up at the top of Mount Ponaponi, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right of the inner sanctum. That's when I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger. There's no way you saw Miss Face stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about. Or don't remember at any rate. Mount Bonnie, a beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum. They must be talking about that smaller mountain from the poster. Mr. Emus was wondering, what can I do you for? The inner sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountaintop next to it? True, there is. Good point. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Imus, on the day of the ride, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Ah, perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Yeah, let's take a look.
BTW, he the last witness.
Ah, It does say calm, clear skies, doesn't it? We enjoy calm, clear the warmer temperature will make for excellent prep. You won't, however, that we'll see a cold front moving on overnight. See? Told you so! Well, it would appear the witnesses offered testimony of worth hearing. Mr. Amos, I too have a question for you. Didn't you already question the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Shoot. How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded, its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand? Yeah, I believe she was. It's got a reverse grip. Ah, that's
Hold it!
much. Hold it right there. What bearing does that have in this case? Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, oh enlightened one? I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes, after your soul rise for centuries in the pits of hell. You shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin with barbs cemented to your posterior. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. That was a bit excessive. Somebody asked what the dagger grip had to do with the case. Now pay attention. Now the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what action she took. You were saying the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip. What? Thus, Mr. Amos's testimony clears up any doubts that might remain. Ha 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 ha! And it can coincide with our benevolence's insights as well. It's a disaster! I blown those insights out of water, but now they're back to haunt me. Now then, let's make us examine the witness. But that is something we will do for the next episode. I know it's a bit of a shorter one today. Well, I say short one, it's been going for about an hour, but I don't know, we could probably finish the trial off probably here and now, but I might do another one a little bit later. If you guys did enjoy this episode though, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help. Click the bell icon down below to be notified when I live stream or upload a video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!